Yeah, so how many people are coming? Just you two?
Right now, that's all we've got outside, but that doesn't mean a panel just got out, so.
See, we'll start at around 3 p.m.
PM, that's like 12 hours from now, man.
I meant 3 a.m. 3 a.m.
I was like, we can be waiting. All right. I've got to run out and try and figure out what's going on with Life 4 now.
Wow, every year my potential panel thing has been decreasing.
Well, it's a little late.
Yeah, because for some reason they keep pushing it to late night, which is really pathetic.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm curious. What is this actually about? Besides
it's about my website and the Chanverse, which includes 4chan.
4chan.
Yeah, 4chan. There's also a huge Russian Chanverse that is unknown. You ever heard of eChan?
eChan?
Yeah, eChan.hk is actually
Is that
one.
iChan?
iChan.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's actually Imageboard in Russia.
Huh.
I'll explain that later.
Because I know there's a 420chan.
Yes, that's true. I'm going to cover that. Keep going.
I'm trying to remember the others. You have. I have a list. Yes. O-chan. 7chan.
Yeah. It's a chan for old fags.
Oh. Well, everything's a bit of slash B anyway.
Well, let's get this panel started. Well, my name is
Forgive me if I leave in the middle. I'm getting pretty darn tired.
Well, okay.
Sorry.
Well, my name is OK, and I'm actually the webmaster and co-founder of the Society for the Study and Presentation of Yosbud channel, also known as Yosbud Society. And that's my title, and with my short emblem/coat arms that a member of the Something Awful forums created for me. Anyway, who am I? My name is NWCJKOK. I've just recently graduated from the University of Maryland, College Park, and I'm partly unemployable due to the job market farce. I'm also a 4chaner. I'm also a lone archivist since I started going to 4chan around 2007/2008. Somewhat famous on CGL for the wrong reasons. I'm a cosplaying photographer, social no-life king, and a genealogist by tragedy. Oh, and that's me. And in that little face there, it was actually made by a 4chan. And that little modification there was actually made by a 4chan mod named Frank Stallone, which we have a bit of a history between each other. Sadly, he retired. He quit the internet around 2011. So what is your society? It was founded by me and a friend of mine, Santar, with the intention to study and preserve the Chanverse. I have five sole people. I'm one of the few active members. One of them is Otter, who is pronounced as Otter, who is an Australian who knows a lot about the Russian Chanverse and the international Chanverse, and goes to the TV, television, film Imageboard. And the other one is a Japanese friend, which I met on Twitter, known as Ishaya Yar, who is a member of a long deceased but well known to each other as a part of Ayashi World, the Pearl channel before the known Imageboard world was created. Others include Tanami, Frank Users. One of our newest members is Dabishu, who knows about some of the subcultures of B and some of his few trip fags that existed. Despite the fact we have 5 or so people, I'm still understaffed because most of them usually have school, work, or other things that I'm out of control with. I actually do most of the work, including the maintaining of the Yoga Society archives and the main website. Why I'm doing this? Because in my opinion, in view, the Imageboard culture is either dying or mainstream to a point where most channels always forget, either don't know or forget their roots. I'm basically one of the few persons who care. I don't know why the hell. Anyway, the parts of Yoga Society there are basically 4 of them. The front page is the second most visited part of the site. I don't know why is this a rush job. The Yoga Society wiki is a wealth of information, including the restored old wiki-chan that I mostly restored by hand myself. You know the old wiki-chan that used to existed around the first few years of 4chan? I actually used the Internet Archives to restore most of the content by hand, mostly by copying and pasting whatever images the old wiki-chan had from the Internet Archives. You know the Internet Archives website?
I have a question. As the internet becomes less free, all the other commercial sites pop up. 4chan will die. All the archives, unfortunately, will eventually disappear because a lot of that material is copyrighted and therefore taken down or...
Problem is that Imageboards are oftentimes, fleeting. And things that usually people who post these images usually use them through fair use. They're not getting paid to do it. They're not getting compensated for it. It's not stealing content. Things that we haven't got a lawsuit from a major company. 4chan has not been sued by any major company because the Imageboard scene in most part is underground. And
the 4chan actually has been sued and had to release IP addresses.
That is for law enforcement.
Correct, which means that the 4chan system is not free, and items and other image boards like Tumblr and Pinterest will basically eliminate all of this because the ICANN refuses to give any more Chan boards their own say, and when they find a new Chan board, they get blacklisted. So to be blunt, the reason I came here was to see what was going on with Chan, and from what basically you're explaining is, it's dead.
Well, here's the problem. 4chan and all the other Imageboards are actually active to this day. Most lawsuits regarding 4chan are made by law enforcement, criminal law enforcement, such as the FBI, not civil law enforcement like cease and desist letters. And most of the lawsuits are for child pornography, things that are already illegal under U.S. federal law.
Well, that's the point. U.S. federal law, meaning even images are subjugated to the U.S. law.
If they're hosted in U.S. But then,
if they come onto a U.S. machine, then that machine information is subjugated, and therefore the ICANN gets tasked by basically, because the ICANN is not ruled by any sovereign nation. It is an internet corporation. Therefore, they are monitoring and are paid off, of course, because they are a company itself. to advise the removal of such information.
Well, can we hold on other questions until later in the panel?
Well, I was just, I think I have all I need.
Now for the what now? Let me finish.
I don't need it. So I don't mean to stop the panel here, but this isn't what I was thinking.
Oh, you mean talking about Imageboards and stuff?
I was wondering what the future was going to be, and unfortunately, this is you're talking about reviving and then archiving, and that's not.
Actually, so I'm talking about I was going to get to the actual culture of the Chanverse and the particular Imageboards outside 4chan, but I'll get to 4chan last.
That's fine. It's not just 4chan. It's all the. That's what I was trying to find out.
Hi.
I'm good. Well, thank you.
Hey. Well, you've been waiting for this panel?
I wouldn't say waiting, but it looked interesting.
Well, okay. Anyway, you didn't miss much.
Okay.
Anyway, I was going to finish the panel, start the panel as is. Anyway, the YS-Chan, known as the User Society boards, I used to have it, and I do have archives of it. And it was pretty interesting, even though it was very slow, and I get only one post per month or sometimes per week. And I used to post some of my cosplay photography there. Sadly, it was constantly spammed by a bunch of cyberyobs from Europe. One of them is linked to 4chan.net, which is full of Hitler Lord worshippers, and a person who thinks that anti-Semitism on the internet is considered absolute freedom of speech. Yeah, they think spreading hatred is free speech. And the US Society archives, which is the most frequently visited part of US Society. One of my assistants, which I know by name, which I keep forgetting, I actually set up a software used to monitoring visitors to the US Society archives, and it was the most popular part of the US Society sites. Because they apparently love visiting old pages. And they especially liked the videos. They actually downloaded the videos from US Society. Videos I've actually downloaded from the Torrent Bay, from the Pirate Bay. And this is the wiki called ARMS, which was made by R, which for some reason the wiki is down due to the fact that LeakChan, those European cyberyobs, have basically forced it to shut down, and at one time vandalized the site through automatic bots. That's WikiChan, the actual anthropomorphism of WikiChan. And this is the first post someone made to US Society, which I managed to save it before it got deleted. Here's a few posts as well, small ones. Hey there. Came just in time. And this was the front. This was the entire saved page of GS, known as General Stuff, and YS, known as Your Society or Useless Stuff for some reason about Imageboards. So what happened since our last panel? The Your Society archives, which I updated so far, I got 4chan content dating back from 2004 to 2012. In other Imageboards, it dates back from 2010 to 2012. For some reason, the site we had to keep moving the User Society sites for reasons beyond our control, and currently we're with DreamHost.
Do you archive like everything, or just?
I usually archive everything but manually using save as with the exception of images. We're using down them all. Again, I single-handedly restored the old WikiChan. Yes, the old WikiChan from 2004. At the same time, we got persistently harassed by a group of cyberyobs, got hacked, DDoS'd, and our wiki vandalized automatically. And I attempted to get text files, 10 million threads. You know, Jason Scott text files. I actually met with him once. Around at MagFest 2010. I tried emailing him a few times regarding it, and he ignored my emails. So I went directly to him through our archive team, and as soon as I introduced myself, he immediately banned me from the IRC room. As soon as I finished introducing myself, I didn't bother PMing him at all. At this point, I want to have nothing to do with him until he responds or I get an explanation why he did. Or I get any sort of explanation from him regarding this. Which is a shame because he's a nice guy. I don't know why was he rude to my introduction. Anyway, I'll start with the Chanverse. The Chanverse is the collective internet of the Imageboard culture, from Imageboard websites to websites related to Imageboards, and extends to the Trailverse and social networks of the channels as well, including Facebook, Facebook, Google+. At its core, it's the Imageboards and the text boards of the internet. The Chanverse birthplace is actually was from Japan. Now, it was considered to be the pole channel of the Chanverse. It was created by 1996 by Shiba Mayuki. It gave birth to anonymous discourse, verbal memes, more especially Japanese idioms that are born from the internet, ASCII art, the first visual meme, the Kiko Neko, of not only Japanese, but also Western online talk culture. It introduced the concept of anonymous posting, the birthplace of the Giggle Cat, from 2channel in Japan, which still exists. Such a sure that it never had good servers and kept constantly crashing. And eventually the owner called it quits. And a despair occurred as soon as the owner called it quits. Here was the first image, one of the few images of Ayashi World. Ayashi means strange in Japanese. So Ayashi World means strange world. Now, based on the board system of Ayashi World, the interesting is that the text board of Ayashi World was open source, so they created another website based on it, known as MSL World. MSL World was created by MSL Shi, also known as Mr. MSL, as his real name, which is unknown to this very day, on June 9th, 1998. It was a bunch of links at first, but eventually the site created its own boards. It invented bumping and floating threads. Now bumping involves moving moving a thread upward. So the the thread gets updated. And floating threads are threads that usually float around it's their tree-based threads. Usually confusing. You have to go through each. It's very confusing. You know what tree-based threads are? Tree-based threads in bulletin board systems. Now the problem with MSL World is that it constantly getting vandalized by trolls. constantly vandalizing with junk threads, junk posts, and got flooded with spam. And history repeats itself, eventually. Now, 2chan was founded by Hiroyuki Nishimura, which has since retired from 2chan membership and went on to run Nico videos, or Nico videos. He founded it on May 30th, 1999, while in the University of Arkansas, which is an American university. He had some free time and wanted to create a web page for other people that would provide content, just like the other text boards before 2channel. Yet, the site got popular when many MSR worlds wanted to discuss the Toshiba scandal, yet their own website kept crashing. Now, the Toshiba scandal was a scandal that involved a person, a Japanese consumer, wanted to complain to Toshiba customer service saying that the VCR isn't working. And the Toshiba customer service personnel refused to entertain his request for help. And what happened was they discussed the problem. The people who heard, so the person who was the victim of the scandal went to 2channel, and that discussion occurred, and all sorts of things happened that they made Toshiba help the person out. Now, 2channel is based on the second channel of the Kanto region of VHS broadcast television in Japan, of analog broadcast television, which has ceased broadcasting in 2011 in analog. They since switched over to digital. It also had Dominion as a second home for many MSR worlders when MSR World was down due to frequent server problems. But it exploded again and again with various incidents and scandals that made 2channel its own culture, its own group. And it introduced several concepts. First is topic recurrency, where the same topic can get posted over and over again, but in many variations, or the discussion can continue in part. And to this day, many threads had the same topic, which has lasted for years. Anime, books, video games, news reports, goes on. It introduced trip codes for temporary identifications, and the infamous mana cats. 2channel eventually gave birth to Japan's first Imageboard football channel during the August 2001 crisis. And here is the various 2channel pages, 2channel front pages throughout the ages. This is, I think, their first one. This is their second one. I think this is the third one, I think. That's another one. Oh, there's the Moncats right now. Now, Moncats basically represent the mascot of 2channel based on the Giggle Nickel cats. And there are many types of variations of these cats, of all the ages, and they're represented in ASCII, and they eventually turn into, and eventually various artists give its own life, its own soul. Just want to show these few pictures first. That's a cat in the box, which is basically she. For some reason, she's named after the. Actually, she's an old moderator of 4chan, which has since retired due to the fact that he was getting snarky with the users with their ban requests. So he quit. And currently he's living in Japan, living his wonderful life. You know the anime series Nurse Witch Kamugi? It actually had an episode featuring the cats, which people got turned into mod cats of all types in the series. Here's her with the cat. Here's her with the cats. It's actually one of my favorite anime series, even though it's an OVA. Here's the cats coming out, Ringu style. And here's all the cats that are safe and that are featured from AA art or ASCII art. That's the cats representing the Satima logo, and it's also the logo from the old Liberal Democrat Party, which is a conservative party in the country of Japan. That represents Kita, means it's here. And now we get to Furuba-chan. Now Furuba-chan was born out of the 2001 August crisis, which was the constant expansion of 2 channels user-based places to strain on the 2-channel server. A few 2 channels of the Talkfly decided to create their own script based on the britfa.gs script, which is a bastard child of one Imageboard. Now the first board started with B, which was an otaku-oriented board. And the same thing happened as in 2-channel. It massively expanded among the otaku side of the internet. It developed its own culture centered around B. And the B boards are known as Nijura boards, and its residents are known as the Toshiaki. Introduced image meme culture. This is their front page, which is still basically the same. And this is all the representations of Furuba channel memes. That's the administrator, that's the website itself, that's the Trouble Windows characters over there from the bottom corner. Let's see if you remember. If I can mention the maids somewhere. Oh, I think that's the maids. I think that's the maids over there. That's the maids. I mean, there's so many memes that I can't recognize in this image. But there should be a website somewhere in the wiki if I can get that out. Oh, there's Waldo over there. That's Waldo. If you can see him.
Yeah, I see him.
Let's see if there's Hamto. Anything else you can recognize? I'll just move on. Now, the Toshiaki origins come from an particularly insistent troll posting with the name Toshiaki, and those users began posting their own satire posts using that name. As a result, the default name was changed from Nanashi, which is a name for anonymous in kanji/Japanese, to Toshiaki. This quickly became accepted as a generic term for a Nijura user. Now, Toshiaki is often depicted in Nijura-related art. He can be a stand-in for the artist or just the generic male character, similar to the generic protagonist of dating sims and porn games. He's seen interacting with most of the Ninjura characters, such as the OS girls or the Ninjura maids. He has many roles and faces, but he is depicted as late teenage/early 20s otaku/ no social life king, and NEET, reflecting the male user base of Futaba. You know what NEET stands for, right? Not in employment, education, or training, which is more relevant to these troubled times of 2010. Now Toshiaki is usually represented as Aura, which is was born from one of the festival sessions that occur during Futaba. It can occur without warning. It can occur within few hours warning, and it's just a crazy festival it's basically a meme fest, which let's create how many memes we can create out of this one particular topic. Here's him with a smug. Here's Toshiaki being carried by one of the Ninjura maids. And here's a comment of Ninjura. Yeah, here's a comment of Toshiaki with one of the maids. Now, Futaba has its own maids, known as the Ninjura maids, and each one carries its own pun. Yeah, very own pun. Now, Midori-san is a character that is usually it's a pun on the word barber. And I don't remember the rest of the names, but one of the Ninjura maids is also represented in the 420 chan boards as Yakuri, known as the medicine addicted girl. These are the Troubled Windows characters, which was born from one of the technology threads, MB, and basically the idea was give each Windows operating system its own female personification, especially their breast size. Now the Imageboards we have a long history of Imageboards. The first generation was Ayashi and MSO text boards. The second generation was 2-channel. The third generation, which starts the Imageboard generation, was Futaba channel. The fourth generation was when the concept of Imageboards changed from Futaba channel to 4chan. It was imported from Japan to America by Christopher Moot Pole, known as Chris Moot Pole or Moot or whatever. And the fifth generation are known as the international chans. Chans in Europe, South America, one of them in Australia, South Korea. There's also one in mainland China and in Taiwan. And there's a huge Chanverse in Russia. There's just huge. We haven't even gone into depth into it. But why do people get converted to Imageboards in the first place? Because it has a unique contribution culture that's unknown. Hold on. Hello? Sounds a bitch. Stupid troll call. Stupid troll call from those stupid bastards from Lee Chan. Yeah. Apparently they know the panel's running. Goddamn bastards. Anyway, let me finish. There is a unique contradiction culture that is well known to Imageboards. Basically, there's contradiction culture because because you can contribute images, information, many things that you can't do with regular forms. It's the ease of use. Second, it's easy use that you can just get started posting without any registration or any crap with regular forms. Second thing is the recurrency of topics is that topics can be recurrent, can be repeated over and over and over again. Topics, basically. I'm just going to screw him. Screw Lee Chan, really. Screw him. Anyway, let me finish. Recurrency of topics can be done. Topics can be recurrent. That means they can discuss the topic over and over again if there's any new information, because there's always new information coming in to these image boards. And you can just stay in an image board, in a very active image board for hours and hours at a time, and just reading stuff and collecting pictures alone, and seeing pictures. Because the most important thing about image boards is content, and it's most particularly images. And the third thing is the near freedom of speech that image boards allow. That you can just say anything anonymously unless you post something very illegal, such as CP, child porn, or any violent threats against a real person. Now, the unique aspect of image boards is that it's media message centered. That is centered on the message instead of the person. With that is an exception in a few boards where there is a much real life and social interaction. Oh, we got a new one. Hey. And it's centered on the message. That means the discussion takes place surrounding the message or the topic of the discussion instead of the person, if most of the people are anonymously. Bastards call me again. And the third thing is the system is the second thing is that the system is barrier free. That means is that there's no need to register. You can just get started posting and stuff, posting text, posting images, all that stuff, all that wonderful stuff. And the third thing is nameless expression. Is that you can basically change your. It's basically you can change you can basically express yourself in any means possible, as long as you don't break the rules. Basically, you can be one person, then another person, all while maintaining an anonymous identity, a completely total anonymous identity. Now, the difference between anonymous boards and regular bulletin boards is that bulletin boards are pseudonymous. Users have to register with a username or a different username, not a real name, as it's pseudonymous. Now, text boards and image boards are truly anonymous because you don't have to register. You can just post anonymous names, or you can say don't put any name at all, and you have a default name simply called anonymous or any other default name. Now, I'm going to haul off on 4chan because it's gotten too popular, primarily because of B. And B's culture has changed throughout the years, from anime-centered text board to just a regular toilet hole. While there are other boards on 4chan, it's too obvious of an image board because everyone knows the 4chan. And there are plenty of image boards out there outside 4chan, since the launch of the site, there have been several times where there have been splinter sites, which some of them exist today. Let me see that. Now let's skip, and if I can skip to the the actual image boards are going to feature. Here. See here. All right. And there's a trans lost footage wiki. What the hell happened? What I put? Interviews transfer. Should be somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to discuss the boards as it happens on the first place. As it happens. Anyway, now 1chan is all about trains. It's all about trains of all sorts. You got regular trains, You got subways, foamers, steamers, high-speed rails. You have topics about trains itself. You have topics about trains itself, train crashes as well. And it was the birthplace of the F4APH meme. In short, the entire theme of 1chan.net is trains or GTFO. That is the only answer. And here's an interesting thing. The user base of 1chan is very small, that about 50% of them are trip fags, and many of them know a lot about trains, and some of them work in the railway industry. The board is run by That Dog, which still is something awful forms goon, and was friends with Moot. The one of moderators is Kamita, and who is also an anime otaku as well. I don't know what the hell happened to these things. And the views. And we don't see it? If I don't see it have some reason. Anyway, we're going to keep discussing these things as well. What the hell? Anyway, I'm going to see if I can skip these things. Now, E-chan is known as Idle-chan. And Idle-chan is basically, it was used to be run by men that I don't remember, but it's currently run to this day, and it's basically a network of boards, including 1chan, and its single selling point is it's the variety of boards, such as ones for Folkloid, ones for anime. They even have a Russian board, and they still it's connected to Soviet Russia, which is the wildest board on the Chanverse, and they still had random CES changes. Yeah, CES changes. Oh, there it is. Here's the goddamn list, and that's the E-chan's E-chan site. And yeah, that's the E-chan site. Now I'm going to go to 7chan. 7chan is was a splinter site when B had it split between during the sudden care of the rule enforcement policy for B, which they suddenly decided to actually enforce due to the fact that B lost its way. So many old fads switched to create their own site known as 7chan. It has grown since then, really. And the B board is something quite different. It's basically had instead of launch threads, It's still small, still a bit otaku-centered, but it's mostly random. But it's mostly random instead of otaku-centered. One of the most particular boards, unique boards, is some of them are failure, and the video game board is quite unique. Pretty much quite unique because of its very detailed, because it's very unique structure. I mean, it's threads, and seriousness of the threads. Now, Fortran Chan is known as the read image board, but it's known by its best known by its child B board, the high and random, known as high and random, and it's mostly random stuff, general discussion, not truly random, but it's mostly general discussion. And some of the threads are quite long. It can range from general discussion to GIF threads. You know what GIF is? And Fortran Chan is known for its GIFs and for its GIF threads, which can sometimes reach up to over 150 images. The other particular boards of note is the wrestling board, which has its own dedicated user base, and the net characters, since they have their own dedicated board, and Yakuri is basically patron saint of 420 Chan. And 420 Chan has its own mascot known as TCC Chan, the one that carries its own bong on its back. The female carries its own bong on its back, wears nothing but a shirt and panties, and is always high. That's good. Now, Death Chan is basically home for Death Fags and Rosen Modern fans, and they had this whole entire. They even have a whole board to death. That character that says death every end. Also have lots of other boards as well. It's also a general image board. Now, Operator Chan is the K-centered image board, and it also has a very active news site, survival food guide, food board, and one is our own resident users is Batgirl, which for some reason never uses a trip code. I wonder why. And this is TF2 Chan, which is dedicated to Team Fortress 2. That's mikuchan.org, which is for dedicated to the Vocaloid fandom. Youth has its own separate boards for each of the own Vocaloids until they're forced to shut down the site temporarily due to a CP onslaught. I don't know why people love to shut CP down of slow image boards. This is Boom Boom Maru, which is comes from JP, the Otaku Culture board. You know JP, the Toho board, the dedicated Toho board. The most active board is general, and let me tell you an interesting thing about Boom Boom Maru. At one time, Boom Boom Maru actually got wiped during a server upgrade. And believe it or not, I have mostly archives of Boom Boom Maru before it got wiped. But here's the interesting thing about the site, about Boom Boom Maru. The administrator, he didn't mind that there were no archives of it. They just want to move forward with it. But you can feel the archive material, which for some reason, due to the fact I keep moving servers over the content has never been actually, the actual images, the threads are there, but the images, the tiny images that when you download onto a separate file, this will never upload it for some reason. I don't know why. And this is CloudChain, which is home for its own dedicated B board, its own WorkSafe B board known as VIP, and known for its international board, which is home for, this is the birthplace of Poland Bowl and the country balls. You know Poland Bowl, right? No? Anyway, Poland Bowl is basically it's basically a bit of social commentary with comedy based on the current events. And it basically depicts some historical settings and events with Chanverse humor. That's France, that's Rome, known as SPR, stands for the People and Senate of the Roman Republic. This is France and Quebec, with France and Quebec with their brothers. Here's the conflict with Norway and Russia. Here's another one with Germany and with Poland Bowl. Here's another one. I'm just going to flip through these things because you want to go to 4chan, right? Is this boring you? Oh, it's the fact that Norway, when it finally got oil, they got rich. They got rich very quickly. And here's and this was when the Norway Imageboards was trying to invade INT with their means, with Spiro spotted. Yeah, this is America. That's America. America used to have its own normal look without the sunglasses. Here's all the Poland Bowls together during World War II. Invasion of Norway, of the Normandy beach invasion. That's from the South Africa World Cup.
Yeah.
And this is the Imageboard world in Europe. There are basically about dozens of chants from almost every country in Western and Eastern Europe. One of them is britfa.gs, which is an Imageboard dedicated to Britain. Sosach, known as Triach, also known as Triach, and Nolchan from the Russian Federation. Lilula, which is another Imageboard, so I'm not sure if it was close or not. There's CloudChain from Germany, which I've already mentioned. I'm not sure if many of these Imageboards are still up. But the Russian Chanverse is something that is much big, very big, has its own means, has its own culture, has its own everything. Now the Russian Chanverse is very popular in Russia. The first one was modeled after 4chan, which was 2channel.ru, which was managed and administered by Zoi, SOI. And it had its own culture, its own means, everything. And which was closed down due to constant illegal content. And Zoi basically said, I had enough, I quit. Now, current image boards of the Russian Chanverse are 2channel.so, which changed to 2channel.hk due to the recent Russian internet censorship law. The blacklist was turned into law around 2012. There's also 0chan, known as no-chan, and idlechan.ru, which is the otaku-oriented Russian image boards. Now here's the interesting thing. In 2012, the Russian channels occupied 4chan's INT board. 2 channels, so in the major image boards of Russia, were taken down through a DOS due to anonymous hacktivists found out major embarrassing information about the Russian government and its ruling party, United Russia, which is chaired by Tsar Putin, or President Putin. The Russian government and the party associates, the ruling party associates of the Russian government, got butthurt and retaliated by DOSing the sites. The end result was they went to 4chan's INT because Cloudchan's INT didn't want them. And this was the U.S. first major exposure to the Russian image board culture. Oh, those two faces here, they're actually, that's their own version of the awesome face, but it's actually known as their own, known as the face of butthurt. Known as the butthurt locker. Russians are still invading in full force. Is there anything we can do? There's nothing you can do. Just learn to enjoy it. And I actually made a thread during this invasion, asking them, what is your culture like? And they gladly explained it to me in detail. And this is 2channel, and this is trash, known as 2ch.hk, and they have their own mills, and it has tons of boards, including their own MLP board. They have boards for cell phone apps, cell phones, technology. They have boards for MMOs, and all sorts of subjects that is subjects that is usually put in general boards in 4chan, but they have their own dedicated boards. And this is the known version of Anonymous in Russia, known as the Oppressor. And he appeared in a Russian television talk show with a bag of over his head, with eyeballs, wearing a Russian military uniform. He's a well-known mascot of 2channel So. No-chan has its own mascot, which is a cat wearing an eye patch with a 0 on it. And apparently, Russians love My Little Pony, especially the cartoon, the current cartoon series. Now, this is the actual symbol of Pekka, the butthurt logo, known as BOGO, known as Youth-Oriented and Bolio-Approved Games only and forever. Now, boil, it stands for normal. Basically, normal fags. And this image of butthurt has been formed in many threads, in many images. I know. Actually, the meaning of butthurt is that a person gets so pissed off of losing an argument, is that basically they lost the argument and they get pissed about it winning. This is the result. That's the actual meaning of butthurt. Yet in the J people, the Otaku board and 4chan, the meaning got twisted. But the actual meaning of butthurt is that your butt is sore after losing an argument. That's a different variant of the butthurt face. He's basically enjoying his blanket, getting cozy. And that image has been imported to 4chan. Oh, that's one of the chants, one of the Imageboard. That's one of the Imageboard mascots in 2chan show, which I don't remember, but it's one of the major mascots in Trash. Now, this actually was born in the original 2channel in Russia, and it got imported to Trash. And here's the Russian ladies in their style, and like the other chants, they're not your personal army. Apparently, they love Stalin, despite the fact that, as a totalitarian communist, he killed 400 million people directly or indirectly. And Triforce Chan is currently the main Tan or personification of Trash, and she's in all different forms. Oh, here's the New Year's image of the Tan personalities, including the oppressors. Now, Welcome to All Mask is basically an image of a bird known as Winged Doom. And basically, All Mask is it's an actual Russian city. And despite the fact it's an average Russian city with a decent culture, it's well known for its drug dealing and drug addiction. And what some drug addicted people dread at sea when they take drugs is this bird of doom carrying a book bag. Leaving?
Yeah, we got it.
Hi. Wow. This is getting sad. And this is the one example of that bird. Now, this is scientist known as, God damn, I keep forgetting names. It usually means something awful, like if you posted a really awful thread or awful comment. And it was based on a video gamer reviewer in Russia who was known for its reviews. Often very unique. Yeah, it's real. Now, this meme was actually forced. It's known as, and then, it's actually pronounced ato. I don't know the actual pronunciation. That is Ato or Atu, and that meme was actually forced on both the Russian chants, no, two chants so, and 4chans A and JP around 2008 or 2009. Yeah, it was around it was around 2008, early 2008, where that meme was forced and was kept constantly posted over and over again. But I finally realized what that meme means this year. To me, for about 4 years, 5 years. And here's the actual history of the Russian Imageboards. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to post this on the front page of Your Society as soon as I can, as soon as I get home. Let's see how many times the fuckers call me.
You can turn it off.
Oh, only 3. They only call 3 times. Well, hopefully they don't try to hack into my own web page again or DOS it. Anyway, I should keep backups as a contingency plan, as an insurance policy, just in case. Anyway, I'm going to now this is a null chan, and it has its own set of boards and its own B boards. Now the B boards in Russia are very, very otaku oriented. They're still very much otaku oriented, and it's still pretty much active. The Russian Chanverse has a very active meme culture, and the old images of 4chan are still used to this day. I mean, the old images of the Russian Chanverse are still used to this day, as the old fags have an obligation to perpetuate the culture as long as they exist. So the new ones will use it. And this is Null Chan's mascot. I actually don't know his name, but it's well known he wears an eye patch with a 0 crossed over it. And this E-Chan, which is the E-Chan.ru, which is the Imageboard for otaku Russians, and it has its own variety of boards, including its own international board. Including its own international board. And that's all the map. I'll just skip. This is what we have here. Get this one. That's Comica.Taiwan, which is where I'm getting to the last 4 minutes. So I mean the last 23 minutes. So I might as well finish up right now. And there we are, 4chan. Anyway, I got too much information and history to fill out, but there's so much more 4chan than B. I'm just going to flash post these images in rapid succession. But I know that. But I'll tell you what. I actually don't like moods at all. And I don't like the 4chan administration. I don't trust them anymore. Because the moderators are usually garbage. Yeah. Very similar. Exactly the same. Now I'm going to flash these images in rapid succession. If you want to see in detail, you can download it. I have those business cards. All right. Here's a comparison between comparing 2chan, which I don't know why people call it 2chan, whereas known as 2channel. You want to call it 2channel, at least mention it as Futaba, but now don't mention 2channel as 2chan. Oh, and did you know that San, the administrator of Futaba, is transgendered. Yes, transgendered. She might be a male who is a female, transgendered. I actually learned that from one of my Imageboards, from one of my honorary historians, Sparky4, which is while autistic and transgendered. He actually created his own Imageboard. He's very He's not very technology based. He's is a resident of the IRC channel of Youth Society since a few months of its ascension. It's very successfully. 4chan has its own panel, which I actually saved these images from a website of one of its old moderators. These were made by Frank Stallone, the old mods, the old fag mods. Matter of fact, the origin mods, which he was something awful forums goon at one time for the creation of 4chan. Yep, that's from Daily Lives of High School Boys, an anime which I haven't saw. I learned a lot from because you go more into Imageboards, you'll be more into reading the anime manga board than actually watching or reading anime and manga. Yes, I know about the doubles incident, and that's actually the main character of American Psycho, Robert Bateman. I just call him Bateman, and he's this incredible rich dude, which has an alter ego of a serial killer. Now you should see this film, American Psycho, and even though they mention it as a black comedy. For some reason, they call it a horror film. It's actually more black comedy. Don't worry, we're getting close soon. That's the CGL me up in 2012. And that's actually me cosplaying as Employermon. And at one time, my face was actually shaped into most of these things, most of these faces. CGL is known as seagulls. V is also known as there's no video games board, because there's so much. They have a habit of posting off-topic stuff, but that's recently changed since VG is more dedicated to video games than V. But V has changed a lot since 2010, but they still have a habit of posting off-topic crap. That's Kaki-chan. There's these snacks. That's Snoot. If I see that damn cat again, I'm using the internet. That's one of the edits of the Total Hijack. I have the original image, but I'm a bit lazy and procrastinating. That's Pixie Terry. That was Pixie Terry. That's from Terminator to Sarah Chronicles. That's Anonymous, which I was cosplay as him for a bit. I actually requested this drawing during one of the first draw fag threads on A, which is still continuing and is almost to its 1,000th this thread on A. Now this origins might be from him, Son of Man. That's 4chan's janitor. Yeah, tomato. And this is the female representation of V-Tan, which V during the early years was fueled by rage, angry, because they know about video games than game journalists or those celebrities or those who represent the video game industry. It was very real at times, and was known by its rage threads, which were for some reason tolerated by Team 4chan. Yeah. And here's all the popular boards so far. We have B, V, VG, A, Mu, SP, COG, TV, MLP, Pole, Fit, and Social. Those are the most popular boards so far. So far on 4chan. But usually B, video games, B, V, and A are the popular boards. Here's one, all of them in alphabetical order. And this is one of the old threads, which I... Huh?
Is there one person around?
Just him.
Oh, okay, all right.
Anyway, you missed a lot.
I know.
But I guess this type thing will be on. This thing will be online. It will be online on my website.
Okay, you have a website?
Yeah, it's called yoursociety.org.
Repeat that again. Can you write that down?
Yeah. Give me the paper and I'll try.
Oh, yes. Yes, here you go.
And this is Anonymous San. This is Anonymous San's eye.
Anonymous.
Yeah, Anonymous San.
Anonymous. Yes.
Yeah, it's the old fag mod from 4chan.
Yes.
You know him?
Yes. From A?
Yes.
Yes, I know him. I know, my trip fact name is the Brother Man, but it's the same name from Xbox Live, and I'm a resident from SP. A resident from SP from sports.
Ah, that's nice. The famous sports board.
Famous sports board that all it does is just be what they don't be what it is. I mean, we just always there for sports and just get in people's faces. I mean.
Yeah. Yes, in the infamous my face meme.
Yes, in my face and all these USA and Euro spam, Euro spam mods, and you always see these. I mean, back then we always had like semen talk, like talking about Euro semen, and we were like, I mean, we do like sports general. I mean. We would do like live games, games and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I did archive a few of those threads, especially the Super Bowl threads of 2012 and 2013.
Yes, 2013. Well, I started like around 2009. 2008 or 2009.
Oh, that's nice.
But they still believe me that I came from A for some stupid reason. You know, but I made my trip fact out of SP though.
Yeah, anyway, Nonsen was famous for being the resident moderator of A, and and he retired after this incident. This incident regarding personal messaging a malware. Personal messaging.
Yeah, from the IRC.
Through IRC and through the 4chan ban, through 4chan warning system.
Yeah, the warning system happened, and Anonymous started posting just like illicit pictures and all that stuff. And I was like a you're supposed to society. Okay then. They were posting like I mean, right now it's just really literally just messed up. I mean, you have like these posters coming out from A, sometimes like they're like but they're not really A, but they just came like from B, and they just start staging threads everywhere for some stupid reason. And it's like, we don't care about your shitty series, so fuck off and all that stuff. And you know, there's a little saying that you don't supposed to talk about 4chan, like the same way you don't supposed to talk about Fight Club. So
problem is that 4chan usually gets they don't talk about 4chan. Problem is 4chan gets in the news because of stupid users, stupid channels,
right,
such as the "Don't Mess with Football" incident.
Right, and the whole and the whole off-topic shit posting that they used to do, like from all originated from B. I believe that all this crap and staging stuff, it just all the way came from B or just from R9K or from B because SP used to kill a lot of people off. And I know some trip facts from my skateboarder from Sneak. He was like a Florida Gator fan. I think it was
Yeah, let me finish this panel real quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, believe it or not, some of Team 4chan's malware still run to this day.
Well, who's the oldest 4chan moderator today? Oldest out moderator, I guess none?
Alternative, also known as Dave, and MVP, Mr. Fat Bob.
Yes.
And and Dawnfix is one of the new malwares.
Yes.
I know because from VG and I think Dawnfix is a regular malware. I actually got this tag while I was on 4chan's RSC.
Yeah. That's where I used to go to, but I haven't been using it lately.
Yeah, I mean I don't go to #4chan's
IRC for some stupid reason.
Yeah, it's regarding the Oricon 2010 incident.
Yes. What was the 2010 incident?
Well, let's say
I don't remember much about the 2010 incident, but I know that from RSP we used to have like something happen, like we had like influx of new people around from new users around from the World Cup.
Yeah, it's known as the Oricon 2010 incident.
Yes, from SP. I mean, that's how it was from the World Cup, like the FIFA World Cup 2010.
No, it's actually from CGL.
Oh, CGL. I thought it was for cosplay.
Yeah, but the SP incident is very interesting. So can you just email me about that as soon as you can?
Yeah, I'll email you about that.
Anyway, those are the two malwares. And believe it or not, we actually know a whole lot of stuff about Team 4chan that most people don't care about. Actually,
why do you care? Why do you care? I mean, I don't. I mean, why do you care? But I'm just.
Well, because most people don't know about who actually is part of Team 4chan, but at least their usernames.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about Team 4chan is this.
My moderators are pieces of shit.
And the thing is that the problem with Team 4chan is with him.
Yes.
Basically, Moot has not. The reason why we haven't got any real comment moderators is because Moot
is a piece of shit, and always the boards are always just. The boards are just already just shit, off-topic shit.
Yeah, and Team 4chan has been constantly understaffed for years. because of him, because of the fact that he doesn't want to supervise his own moderators.
Oh.
The reason why he started the janitor system is because he doesn't want to monitor any moderators' crap, any mistaken bans, complaints. So that's why he uses janitors.
Yes.
That's why he uses janitors as their stopgap. He's using this stopgap for years. Basically, the people who have been janitors for long periods of time become mods.
Yes. Well, how do you become a janitor to be exact?
You had to apply to be for a
I know
janitor.
how to apply for janitor. I'm just saying, like, how do you get the rules to being janitor? Because, you know, I'm an intermediate beginner at computers, but, you know, I want to be my own mod, but, you know, just to be a janitor to be exact.
Well, basically, to be a janitor, you mean the requirements?
Yeah, the credits of that, yeah.
Well, I actually have a copy of the janitor requirements
Right.
on my personal archive, so I can post it onto it.
Sure, okay.
And this is the now the amend back. I found this amend backend that was posted on 4chan's Q, and on 4chan's Q on that file is known as amend is a raw file, an archive file, and this was the back end of it. And through this back end,
Through the catalog.
yeah,
The archives.
yes, through this archive, they also have their own dedicated form. Their own dedicated form known as J, 4chan moderator and janitor discussion. And through that threads and through the back at the board, I was able to gather most, if not all, the janitors and moderators which have served 4chan, to serve Team 4chan.
Oh my gosh.
And some of those moderators could still be active.
Yes. Even
Sa-
the older ones, even the older trip facts that still wanted to be mods as well. I mean, do some of the trip facts become really mods?
I don't really know, but I know one of CGL moderators is a janitor.
Yes.
His name is Denmark.
Denmark.
Please don't tell this to anyone. This is a matter of Chanverse security.
Okay.
There's a reason why I'm not releasing the names in public.
Right.
Because it's a matter of Chanverse security, and it's used, and we're going to use it as an insurance policy just in case anything happens to your society directly from Team 4chan.
Right.
And this is their back end of.
Does anyone take 4chan really seriously? Because, you know, I sometimes don't, and, you know, sometimes I do. You know, sometimes I just spend too much time on the boards though, but. You know, some of the jokes and all that stuff don't bother me that much. You know, I would just go to sleep and do nothing from that matter. I was just asking about, well, I mean, does some add-ons and some trick facts take 4chan really seriously?
Well, some of them.
Yeah.
And for me, at one time, I got burned out with so many because of seeing the inane comments I see. Especially when I was suffering from a major depression at around 2010, after the Oricon 2010 incident.
Yes.
And on CGL, it's too traumatic for me to discuss at this point. But I can write a detailed article about it one day.
Well, let me know if you have that. Are you trying to write a biography or something like that?
No. I would love to make a documentary about the Chanverse. A field documentary one day.
Right.
And those are websites right there. You can contact me directly at ysjkid@gmail.com. We have an RLC at pound Society at rlc@ryzon.net. Only the society.org page and the archives are active. I'm trying to get R to reactivate the wiki, but he's a bit protectionistic.
Okay. Another question. Do some marketers, probably I wouldn't say agents, but just like marketers from 4chan, on marketers like from other companies, like other corporational companies, like television, entertainment companies like CBS, CBS like Viacom, or like CBS like marketers. Anywhere in particular?
File marketers. Well, there have been so many complaints about file marketers.
Yeah,
on
but some of them are
on
traditional
feed.
trolling.
It basically stands for trolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't confirmed any file marketing unless we get hard evidence.
Unless that evidence speaks itself.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, have a good night.
All right.
You too.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey, I need to give you these cards.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, man. You live around here in DC?
Yes.
All right.
Contact me directly.
Okay. All right then.
Sweet, thanks.
All right, no problem, man. All right. I'm sure to be around DC. I'll be around DC to see you around though.
Okay.
Where do you hang out the most around here? Just spend most at home?
Yeah, usually at home. I'm trying to get a job. I just graduated.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I need to get your email address.
Okay, it's Justin BOK.
Okay, let me,
Yeah, I'll take my time.
yeah, type it. You can go ahead.
Justin BOK at yahoo.com.
It's a better way. Why don't you type it? It's a better way. You type it.
Okay then. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I have two emails though, so.
Okay, do that.
I can go for project black at hotmail.com. That'll be good. All right. What's all lowercase? Okay. All right.
How'd it go?